Naruto, Reborn Prodigy, Master of all Ninjutsu. Episode 71. Brush. Sakura's face instantly flushed. I didn't mean that, I didn't say that. You don't mislead me. I didn't say anything. Sakura was so anxious that she was almost speechless. Naruto had a hint of playfulness. You are not young, you know a lot of things. I didn't say anything the first time, what are you blushing? Sakura's whole body was petrified. What Naruto meant by this time, I saw Naruto pick up the chopsticks and finish the last bite of Oden. Okay, I'm kidding you. Sakura's face was still red, but she didn't know if she was shy, angry, or something else. She clenched her fists lightly and puffed out her cheeks. Really, Naruto, when did you like to joke so much? This skill is innate. It's just that I didn't bother to joke with you before. At this time, the shop owner said in his rough voice, don't joke like this with girls. Otherwise, it will be difficult to marry a wife. If you like her, you should be gentle with her so that you can catch up. Sakura, who had just calmed down, began to be calm again in an instant. What is this shop owner talking about? Naruto said with a smile. Boss, you misunderstood. She is not a girl I like. The girl I like is 100 times cuter than her. I am absolutely 100 times gentle with her. The shop owner couldn't help but laugh heartily. Ha ha ha, so it is. But the more like this, the more you can't joke with girls. Naruto smiled and did not speak. The owner is quite welcoming. It's just that Sakura's expression is a little wrong. Because Naruto said that he already had a girl he liked, and was 100 times cuter than himself? Who? How did she not know that Naruto had contact with other girls? She pursed her lips and wanted to ask, but I thought it was strange to ask such a question. Finally, he gently bit his lip flap without opening. Naruto chatted with the shop owner, who was a very rough man, much stronger than the owner of Ichiraka Ramen. He was dressed in dark gray coarse cloth. The two chatted a little, and Naruto asked casually, Boss, do you know someone from Uzumaki Chuenjo? The shopkeeper held his cheeks and said very seriously, yes, no one in our village does not know her and her daughter. Their mother and daughter are outsiders and were taken in by our Kusanagi village. But even if I stay, my life is not good. I heard that Vortex Spring Gyo has a special medical ability, and our Kusanagi village has been fighting for many years, and she needs to heal those injured ninjas. It's just that there are too many injured ninjas, and every time I see Uzumaki Izumi, I feel that she is about to be unable to hold on, and the whole person is so thin that only ribs remain. Hey! But I can only take a look. After all, our village really needs her. Otherwise, I am afraid that the village will disappear, but pity the mother and daughter. It can be seen that the shop owner sympathizes with Vortex Chuenjo and her daughter. It's just that he is just an ordinary person, and his compassion is useless and worthless. Naruto nodded, and his expression became serious. He confirmed once again that Uzumaki Chuenjo must be Xiangfo's mother. So, uncle, do you know where their family lives? Oh, just on the hillside behind our village, there's a separate little house, which is their house. Speaking of the house where their mother and daughter live, it is also miserable, covered with thin sheets all year round. There is nothing in the house except a bed and a table, and a good girl is also raised skinny. After speaking, the shop owner sighed deeply. Naruto's eyebrows sank slightly, and he secretly planned in his heart. Naruto paid directly and said to the shop owner with a smile on his face, Boss, thank you, the stuff is delicious. Very warm greeting from the owner. Hee, come back next time. I'll give you more. Naruto just smiled and didn't answer. If he says yes, the owner will be happy. However, after the matter is dealt with, he may be leaving Kusanagi village, and it is unknown whether he will have the opportunity to eat Oden again. Although it was just a small promise, Naruto thought that since it couldn't be done, it was better not to say it. Since it has been said, it must be done. Of course, this only works in the moment. Naruto walked slowly out of the Oden store, followed by Sakura, and she asked, Where are we going now? Is it okay to go anywhere, just wander around, or do you have somewhere you want to go? No. No thanks, you can go wherever you say. Naruto only raised his eyebrows slightly, and continued as he thought. The two walked very harmoniously on the road. It's just that something seems wrong with the atmosphere. At least Sakura's emotions are very wrong. She went to see Naruto from time to time. She wondered who the man Naruto liked was. Didn't Naruto once like himself? Although he never said he liked it. But his various performances are already very telling. Episode 72. Noticing Sakura's strangeness, Naruto turned to look at her. What do you always watch me do? Think I'm too handsome and in love with me? Sakura tensed up again, and she immediately explained. Who said that? I just wanted to ask you a question. Somehow, Sakura now faces Naruto, and she will have an inexplicable feeling of panic, completely unable to keep herself. She wasn't like that before. Problem? What problem? That you just told the shop owner that you have someone you like? Yes, what's wrong? You. Who do you like? Naruto frowned and said directly. Who do I like? Do you care? I don't care. I just think that since we are partners now, I should also care about your love life. Now girls are actually not as simple as you think. Isn't it good that I help you check it? Naruto looked at Sakura suspiciously, with a skeptical look. I see you're not trying to help me check it. Are you jealous? It's not you that I like, so I feel very bad in my heart. Sakura was completely stunned. She thought it didn't seem to be, but she would never admit it. Sakura immediately retorted, "Don't talk nonsense. I don't have that in mind." Naruto just smiled faintly. "It's good if not. As for who I like, you'll know when I return to Konoha village." "It's from Konoha village?" "Of course, you do. Or do I know?" "Don't. Is it Ino?" I didn't expect Naruto to like this type. "It's not her, it's someone else." This made Sakura even more anxious, and she couldn't think of any other girl. Hinata's sense of existence in school is too low, and ordinary people will think of her. Naruto didn't bother to say anything though. He needed to remember the terrain here. While the two were hanging out, the two who had been monitoring Naruto and Sakura withdrew one, and they were going to go back and report Naruto's movements anytime and anywhere. And the people who were watching Sasuke and Kakashi also went back, and the ninja in charge of delivering the news all went to the office of Ryuichi Maeda, the leader of Kusanagi village. Kusanagi village is just a small ninja village, and the leader here will not be called a shadow. Their office is not as atmospheric as the Fire Nation, but it is very simple. Ryuichi Maeda sat there and asked about several people. "Report Maeda-sama, Kakashi has been reading in his room, while another child named Sasuke has been practicing chakra." Another yellow-haired and pink-haired kid went out not long after returning to the hotel, but they were hanging out and didn't have contact with anyone. Everything was normal. Takashi Maeda nodded, but he was relieved. At this time, one of his subordinates said, "Maeda-sama, are you going to withdraw everyone else? Keep watching. Continue?" But they didn't seem to have anything out of the ordinary. "It's just that it doesn't look abnormal now. It doesn't mean that they really have no idea. They are not afraid of 10,000, just in case. In short, just continue to guard." The subordinate nodded and said, "By the way, Maeda-sama, the yellow-haired boy who was going to give Uzumaki Izumi before is going to give something to Uzumaki Izumi. Do we want to send it now?" Ryuichi Maeda directly grabbed a small money bag on the table and said very indifferently, "No need, just keep this thing here for safekeeping." "Yes, Maeda-sama." After that, everyone went down. Not counting the spacious office, Ryuichi Maeda was left alone. He had already seen the contents of the money bag. It was 100,000 taels. Unexpectedly, someone sent them money, and it was still 100,000 taels. You know, the reason why the Whirlpool mother and daughter have always been controlled is because their food, clothing, housing, and transportation are in his hands. If they got the money, how could they be so obedient? They are just tools raised by Kusanagi village, and they don't need that much money at all, as long as they don't die of hunger. Ryuichi Maeda collected the money directly. It was late afternoon. There were fewer people on the streets at this time. Not only that, but people who are active on the streets don't seem to be easy to provoke. Many Kusanagi have tasks during the day, and only in the afternoon can they relax properly, and many ninjas come out to play at this time. On the surface, everyone gets along harmoniously. Naruto and Sakura walked through almost every street of Kusanagi village together, and all the terrain Naruto had already memorized in his head. Finally stretched, "Ah, it's almost time, go back." Walked all the way. Sakura was also quite tired, and she nodded quickly. On the way back, Sakura tries to ask Naruto what the name of the person he likes is. However, Naruto didn't bother to tell Sakura, causing Sakura to be even more curious. The two returned to the hotel together, just in time to meet Kakashi and Sasuke, who came down from upstairs. Seeing Naruto and Sakura, Kakashi looked lazy. "Where did you two go?" "I looked for you for half a day." Sakura immediately greeted her and explained. "Naruto said he wanted to go shopping, so I'll accompany him." "Ah, I didn't expect Sakura and Naruto to have such a good relationship and travel together." Kakashi just said it casually, but Sakura blushed for no reason. PS, launched at 12 p.m. Thank you for your continued reading. Ask for a wave of subscriptions. There will be an explosion. If there is anything written that does not meet everyone's taste, I hope to give more opinions. Episode 73. Kakashi-sensei. Not what you think. We really just hung out alone. Don't worry, I'm a very open-minded person, young man, just to do vigorous things. Sakura really couldn't argue until Naruto said, "I don't like Sakura, and even if something vigorous is going to happen, it won't be with her." Relentless denial. Sakura's whole body stayed where she was. Naruto didn't care what Sakura reacted, but asked Kakashi, "Kakashi-sensei, where are you going? Have something to deal with?" "It's okay, I'm hungry, go eat." "Have you two eaten?" "I haven't eaten the dinner yet." "Ah, that's just right, let's go together. Someone has a treat today, you can eat whatever you want. Then you wait for me, I'll go to the bathroom." Kakashi leaned directly against the wall. "Ah, okay, we're waiting for you here." Sasuke's expression was still cold, and he couldn't help frowning when he heard that Naruto was going to the bathroom. Sakura was very annoyed, frustrated. How could Naruto hate himself so much? And it seems that Naruto doesn't even want to have anything to do with her? How so? Kakashi on the side glanced at Sakura and asked with a smile. It seems that Sakura likes Naruto very much. Naruto just went to the bathroom. You are so nervous? Kakashi-sensei. What are you talking about? Where do I have nervousness? You've been watching Naruto, haven't you? I didn't. Kakashi just laughed. Looking at Kakashi's smile, Sakura knew that no matter how she explained it, it was useless, and in the end she didn't bother to say it. But she pursed her lips and looked at Kakashi. Kakashi-sensei, do you feel like Naruto has changed a lot? Kakashi held his chin slightly and said with a serious face, it's really different from the information I read. Yes. I also feel that Naruto has changed a lot, and I suspect that he was bullied after leaving Konoha village, which is why he became so cold. Cold? Yes. Naruto is really super cold to me. Before Kakashi could speak, Naruto had already come out. Just when he came out, Kakashido glanced at him. Naruto smiled. Long wait, let's go. Kakashi was stunned for a moment and smiled. Ah, it's really different. I am smarter and stronger than before. Kakashi walked in front, and the three of Naruto followed behind. He had a good discussion with Kakashi just now, and when Naruto came out, Sakura didn't say anything. After the four of them walked away, a man dressed in Kusanagi ninja clothes came out of the bathroom. He walked steadily, in the same direction as Kakashi. He reached out and covered the forehead protector. I haven't worn a forehead brace for a long time. It's really a little unaccustomed, although it's just a transformation technique. The Kusanagi that appeared in front of him was conjured by Naruto using the transformation technique. The ninja of Kusanagi village is constantly watching, and if he is very difficult to act with his original appearance, he must use the image of Kusanagi. According to the description of the Oden boss, Naruto planned to go directly to Uzumaki Izumi. From here, the hillside behind Kusanagi village is not close. After walking for about 30 minutes, Naruto heard a commotion. I saw a group of young people gathered around in front of me, and their language was mocking. It's ugly, it's dirty, outsiders are outsiders. If it weren't for your mother's ability, you would have been kicked out of Kusanagi village a long time ago. Exactly. Stinky children like you don't want to dirty our eyes here. Hehe, in fact, washing is still very good looking. Do you want to earn some extra money? Come home with me in the evening, I will definitely hurt you well. This person who was surrounded was none other than Uzumaki Phosphorus. Kokoto is about the same age as Naruto, and a girl at this age should have skin that is tender enough to squeeze out water. However, the long-term malnutrition of Xiangfos, coupled with the harsh living environment, made his face peel. She was carrying a basket containing some greens. Only at this moment, her face looked very scared. Xiangfos stepped back again and again. I'm just here to buy groceries, you guys. Don't come here. Hehe, come with me. Don't say it's a dish, you can buy anything. As he spoke, someone grabbed Xiangfos' arm. Xiangfos was so afraid that he began to cry and struggled hard. Let go of me. Let me go. Help, please save me. I have never done anything bad, please let me go. Ha ha ha, crying. It's fun. You are an outsider, you should be obedient, otherwise, you don't even have a place to live. Xiangfos was very helpless, because even if the passers-by around her saw her being bullied, no one was willing to help, because she's just an outsider. For them, whatever happens to them is a matter of course. No one will pity her, and no one will pity her. Even if she dies on the street now, I'm afraid no one will frown. This is the sadness of being an outsider. She knew, but she couldn't resist such a fate. But she was unwilling, she was afraid. She doesn't want to be slaughtered just like that. Woohoo! Don't touch me. Let go of me. After speaking, he directly bit into the man's hand. Ouch. Smelly girl, dare to bite me. Believe it or not, I'll kill you. Seeing that the man was about to slap Xiangfos in the face, a figure suddenly appeared in front of him, and it was firmly grasping his wrist. Click. A clearly visible voice came. Ah. My hand. My hand. The man who was about to hit the phosphorus let out a pig-like scream, because Naruto had already crushed his hand bones. This is not the end, the other party is in too much pain to fight back. When his other hand reached over to resist, Naruto easily grabbed the other's wrist. Click. Another crisp sound. The bone of the other hand was also shattered. Naruto directly used the strange power blessing, and crushing a person's hand bones was simply a breeze. The man who crushed the bones of both hands was already rolling his eyes in pain, and Naruto did not stop his movements and threw the other party directly. His body flew more than 10 meters away, slammed, and finally lay down on the ground. Sudden situation. The people who were originally surrounding Xiangfos were about to retreat, but they saw a shadow link, and several people all fell to the ground and wailed. After Naruto stood still, the onlookers from a distance finally saw the face of the comer. I saw a young man wearing a forehead protector and wearing the clothes of a ninja of Kusanagi village, and everyone did not expect that there would be Kusanagi from the village to come forward. The group of people who bullied Xiangfos just now and are now lying on the ground are all some punks in Kusanagi village. It was now close to dusk, just in time for their activities. When I met Xiangfos on the road, I wanted to bully it, who called Xiangfos an outsider. In their opinion, an outsider will never be sheltered by anyone, but at the moment. But there are ninjas from Kusanagi village protecting Kakashi? Why? Episode 74. A group of onlookers couldn't understand the plot at this time. Me. Naruto snorted coldly and said to the onlookers. Although these passers-by did not participate in the bullying, they were very cold-blooded, and if a little girl was bullied, Naruto would not be polite to them. A group of passersby saw Naruto's power, and where anyone dared to provoke him, they immediately scattered as birds and beasts and left the place. At this time, Kaka, who was behind Naruto, froze. She never thought that someone would help her, and it was actually a ninja from Kusanagi village who helped herself. Naruto turned around, only to see him stretch out his hand. It's okay, those people have already run away. No one will bully you again. At this time, Naruto's image was an extremely ordinary Kusanagi ninja village image. Not handsome, can only be said to be a very kind young man. Xiangfos looked at the other party, but did not extend his hand. Naruto asked, "What's wrong? Hurt?" Kakazu shook his head, reached out, grabbed Naruto, and stood up with strength. She was just a 12-year-old girl, but the palm of her hand looked a little rough. It seems that there is no less work. Generally such a big girl, who was not spoiled, but she had to endure all kinds of tribulations. But there is no way, in this village, the displaced people will be excluded and bullied. Thank you for saving me. Naruto just smiled, it's okay. Glancing at the vegetable basket in Xiangfo's hand, you came to buy vegetables? Ah. Right, so what else are you going to buy? I'll accompany you? No need, I bought it, thank you. Okay, I'll send you back now. Xiangfos was dumbfounded, and his eyes widened. This Kusanagi ninja village not only saved himself, but also sent himself back? She blinked, and then said embarrassedly, I can go back by myself, you saved me just now. It's already very troublesome for you. Since I saved you, you have to invite me back for a nightly meal, right? I just happened to be a little hungry. Xiangfos was instantly a little flustered, and she said in a bit of a hurry, yes, I'm sorry. I was negligent. It's just that I don't have anything at home, and I may not be able to treat you to something delicious. It's okay, I'll just bring my own ingredients, but you'll have to cook later. Fragrant Phosphorus is still a little confused. After all, I was just bullied, and some of them have not eased up. And the Kusanagi in front of her was so kind to herself, which made her a little overwhelmed. Before Kakari could react, Naruto took her to buy some other dishes at the market. In the end, I bought enough baskets, and it was a little difficult to lift the fragrant phosphorus. You seem to be struggling to carry it, do you want me to help you? Xiangfos looked stubborn, and she said with a smile, no, I can. Naruto nodded lightly. Finally, he followed Xiangfos back home. Kaka's family lives on a hillside in Kusanagi village. There is a long road from the street all the way to Xiangfos's home. There are no roads built here, all the roads are self-made. There were no other houses around, and from a distance, there was only the broken and small stone house of the Shangfu family. Now the weather is a little cool, but Xiangfos is very thinly dressed. Coupled with long-term malnutrition, and now carrying the weight that her life cannot bear, she has stumbled a little when she walks. Originally, Naruto planned for her to mention it like this, but now it's going uphill, and if she's not careful, she's afraid she'll have to roll down. If that, it would be troublesome. So Naruto lifted the basket in Keiko's hand very easily. Xiangfos froze directly. Naruto explained, at the speed you walk, your benefactor will starve to death. Xiangfos quickly apologized, yes, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to walk so slowly. Naruto smiled. In fact, he was not blaming Xiangfos. It's just that the environment in which Xiangfos lives makes her extremely sensitive, causing her to remember a little favor from others clearly. Similarly, a little blame can make her feel uneasy. Naruto walked straight to Kakashi's house, got closer and looked. I even found that the house of the Shangfu family was really small enough, and it was very broken. The wooden door in front of me feels like it can be pushed open with a slight push. But Naruto just stood there, waiting for Kikoto to arrive. It almost took her to eat to keep up with Naruto. She didn't dare to make Naruto wait too long and immediately pushed the door open. After entering, she said with some embarrassment, I'm sorry, our family is relatively small, You sit on the bed, and then give me these things, and I'll cook. Instead of handing Kakari directly, Naruto placed it on the table near the door. The room was exceptionally dark, and it was getting dark outside. Xiangfos did not rush to cook, she lit the lamp first. It's more of a candle than a lamp. Usually she doesn't light candles when she is with her mother, because candles are also expensive. Living in this house, she and her mother have long been accustomed to the dark, and even if they stay in the dark for a night, they will not feel anything. But Naruto was a guest, and she had to entertain him. When the candles were lit, the room lit up a little and warmed a little. Kakamito looked at Naruto and said, I'm going to cook now, it may take a while, so you wait a bit. After speaking, Xiangfos hesitated again. She pursed her lips slightly and asked Naruto, I still don't know what your name is. What should I call you, my lord? Bang! What was originally a kind young man instantly became a 12-year-old blonde boy. Naruto had already changed out of his original clothes and wore a kimono, the one he had bought with Tayuya. This outfit is more comfortable to wear on the body. It's just that when he changed back to his original form, Xiangfo sat directly on the ground in fear. You Who are you? She was really scared, because she had never seen anyone like that. Now she is the only one at home, and she is really scared. Looking at the way Kazuo almost cried, Naruto looked helpless. Don't be afraid, I'm not a bad person. If it's really a bad person, when I'm on the road, I will kill you. I won't save you, let alone walk back with you. Naruto's explanation made Kakashi slightly relieved, but she still looked terrified. Didn't you ask me what my name was? That. Yes, my name is Naruto Uzumaki. When he heard this name, Xiangfos was stunned. She blinked and looked at Naruto carefully. She seemed to be a little disbelieving, and said hesitantly, but people of the Uzumaki clan have red hair, just like she and her own mother, but Naruto had no red hair, only blonde hair. Episode 75. Because my father is not from the Uzumaki family, I inherited my father's hair color. Xiangfos was stunned. Naruto stretched and continued. The reason why I appeared with the transformation technique is because I don't want to cause trouble. After all, I am not from Kusanagi village. Seeing that Naruto didn't look like a bad person when he spoke, and he was the same age as himself, Kokoto was slightly relieved. She quickly got up from the ground and apologized. Yes. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to yell, but you really scared me. You don't need to use honorifics for me. We're about the same age, you can just call me Naruto. Xiangfos looked a little twisted. It was the first time she had such close contact with a boy of the same age. Seeing that Kakami did not speak, Naruto said, I came to Kusanagi village this time to find your mother Uzumaki Chuenjo. When will she come back? Looking for my mother? Well, there is something to give her. My mother. It may be very late to come back, tonight. Maybe it won't come back either, I don't know. When Xiangfo said this, the whole person looked a little depressed. It could be seen that she had thought of something bad. Naruto knew the story of Kakashi, and even more so about her mother. However, he still looked unaware and asked, why don't you come back tonight? Is she doing something outside? Maybe it's because Naruto saved himself, maybe it's because Naruto and himself are the same age, or maybe both. Xiangfos let down his guard and looked sad. My mother goes to the hospital every day, she needs to heal the injured ninjas, and if those ninjas are not healed, my mother can't come back. In the past, my mother came back early, but recently the Kusanagi village has started fighting again, and there are more and more injured ninjas, and my mother is coming back more and more late. Every time my mother came back, she would be so tired that she didn't even eat, and I wanted to go and bring food to my mother, but every time I was stopped, so I had to wait for my mother to come back. Saying that, Xiangfos had a tear in her eyes. She really felt sorry for her mother, but it was useless to feel distressed, because she couldn't save her mother, let alone herself. Looking at the girl in front of him, Naruto couldn't help but sigh. In this world, people without power live and can only be enslaved by others. How powerful the original Whirlpool family was, but in the end it was suppressed by many countries, and the remaining ones were scattered in various places. The descendants of the Uzumaki clan became homeless. No matter where they go, no one will really identify with them, because no matter where they go, they are just outsiders. Xiangfos and her mother Chuenjo are examples. If it weren't for their special healing powers, they wouldn't know where they would be now. The atmosphere instantly became condensed. Naruto said easily, so that's the case, then you go cook first, I'll come back with you. Xiangfos blinked and reached out to wipe the corner of his eye. She pursed her lips and said, I'll go cook now. Looking at the thin figure of Kakashi, Naruto was a little lost in thought. The strength of a country can ensure the peace of all living beings below. Although Konoha hides darkness, because of Konoha's strength, there are hundreds of people in the land of fire to have a peaceful life. At least for now. If a country is not strong enough, then the people will have to live in misery. Whether men, women, or children, the fate is the same. Like the country of grass, it is perennially turbulent. Or, you become strong enough on your own. When a country is so strong that you can't help, you no longer need to rely on the group, but stand above all living beings, and your destiny is only controlled by yourself. At this time, I saw Xiangfos busy up and down. When he returned, he was taken by Naruto and bought a lot of dishes. It's just that there are many dishes that Xiangfos has never cooked, which gives her some headaches, and she doesn't know how to be good. Seeing that Kakamito looked a little embarrassed, Naruto asked, what's wrong? Kakato looked back at Naruto with a hint of apology. Usually I only make simple things, these fish and meat I don't know how to do it. Do whatever you think is right, but what if it's not delicious? Just fill my stomach, I'm not a picky eater. Listening to Naruto say that, Kakato let go and do it. Naruto, who has lived 2 lifetimes, cooking is no small meaning for him. However, Xiangfos lived in such an environment, and he couldn't help her much. Once given too much help, Xiangfos may lose the ability to live and degenerate into a little girl hiding behind others. In such troubled times, it is most unsafe to live behind others, because no one can protect her anytime, anywhere, not even Naruto. After all, he also has a lot of his own things to do. This meal, fragrant phosphorus, did not go well, but in the end, the results were good. According to her own understanding, she cooked all the fish and meat she bought. Kusanagi village is in turmoil all year round, and the mother and daughter of Xiangfos have a very hard time, and there are not too many seasonings, but the taste is still good in the end. Two people sitting at a small table. In order to entertain Naruto, Kazu washed the dishes several times, for fear of being disliked by Naruto. However, Naruto is not the kind of pampered person, as long as he can fill his stomach. At the dinner table, Kakato stared at Naruto cautiously, just wondered if Naruto was happy with the meal she cooked. Seeing Kakashi's careful thoughts, Naruto said lightly, "It tastes very good, and you have a talent for cooking." Being praised by Naruto like this, Kazuki couldn't help but look down and laugh, laughing happily. Such a smile she rarely shows to outsiders, because in Kusanagi village, no one will be nice to her except her mother. So no one deserves a smile like that. Naruto was different, he saved himself. To put it bluntly, in her eyes, Naruto is a hero. In order not to make the atmosphere seem awkward, Naruto also chatted with Kakami. After all, Xiangfos is a little girl, and she is actually quite lively and cheerful. It's just that because of being suppressed for a long time, it will seem very cowardly when encountering other people, especially strangers. But in front of Naruto, he was not guarded in the slightest. Finally finished eating, Naruto glanced at Kakato again. Being stared at like this by Naruto, Kakato only felt a little embarrassed. That me, is there something on my face? Xiangfos asked very nervously. Naruto smiled lightly, nothing. This made Xiangfos a little puzzled. At this point, Naruto got up and pushed open the wooden door. Episode 76. It was already dark. It is in the countryside and you can clearly see the stars and the moon outside. This kind of scene cannot be seen in the city of Blue Star. After all, it is surrounded by towering buildings. Kato looked at Naruto's back, and after a pause, she began to clear the table. There was quite a lot of food just made, and the two of them couldn't finish eating, and there was a lot of fish and meat left. She carefully packed the rest of the dishes in other bowls and covered them with a lid. In this way, when my mother returns, there will be meat to eat. The mother and daughter had not eaten meat for a long time. In the war-torn Kusanagi village, it is already a very happy thing to be able to fill your stomach, and you will not expect to eat meat at all. After cleaning up, wiping the water droplets on his hands, Kazu carefully came to Naruto's side. Not only that, but she also brought a small chair. Directly handed the small chair to Naruto. "Brother Naruto, you sit." Naruto was not polite, sat down directly, and said, "Find a chair next to me." Kaoru blinked, pedaled back to the room, and brought another chair to sit next to Naruto. The close distance between the two made Xiangfos a little nervous, and also made her feel a little relieved. In fact, when she waited for her mother to come back alone every day, she was really scared. So small house, so unsturdy door, so empty place. With a slight noise, she thought that a beast was coming to her. Now that Naruto's brother is by her side, she doesn't have to be afraid. She pursed her lips lightly and looked at Naruto's side face. "That Brother Naruto, what are you doing sitting here? Look at the stars," Naruto replied. Xiangfos blinked his eyes and seemed to be very puzzled. She looked up. "I saw a starry sky and a high and hanging moon. As long as it doesn't rain in this place, there is such a sight every night." It's just that Xiangfos is not in the mood to see that starry sky, and what she thinks about every day is how to live well in the village with her mother. Naruto thought that under the starry sky, if there was good wine together, it would be wonderful. "Do you have any wine here?" Naruto asked. "Nope," Kakato said, and she immediately got up. "But if brother Naruto wants to drink, I can go and buy it for you." Seeing Kakari being so positive, Naruto couldn't help but laugh. He directly pulled Xiangfos to sit on the chair and continued to look at the stars in the sky. "It's okay, I'll just ask casually. Besides, it's so late. Where is there a place to sell you alcohol? Besides, you are a girl's family, what if you are bullied again?" After being pulled to sit down, his face turned red unconsciously. Just now, Naruto's brother took her hand. She is young, and she doesn't see many people, and her feelings are very vague. For her, now Naruto her lifesaver, and that throbbing in her heart, she didn't know what it felt. But what she knew was that harmony made her feel at ease and made her happy. She pursed her lips gently, and her little hand began to pull her blouse, and she whispered, But if brother Naruto really wants to drink, I will definitely buy it for brother Naruto." Naruto glanced at Kakuro, with a smile on his face. "I believe you, but you are so cute, it will be bad if you are bullied. Besides, what if I really drink alcohol? What if I drink too much and do something bad?" Kakato blinked his eyes in ignorance and looked at Naruto. "Do something bad? What bad thing?" Naruto reached out and ruffled the red hair of Kakato Phosphorus, and said leisurely, "You're a woman, I'm a man, and you're in the same room. What do you think I'm going to do?" Xiangfos blinked, she didn't understand. Looking at Xiangfos looking at himself like this, Naruto actually felt that he was a bit of a beast. "I didn't feel this way when I faced Taiyo. To blame, only the fragrant Phosphorus looks too small. He is clearly about the same age as himself, but because he has been malnourished for a long time, he looks very thin." Naruto retracted his hand and said indifferently, "It's okay, you'll understand later, and it's okay if you don't understand now, but Hayama seems to want to know what it looks like." Naruto added, "It doesn't matter if I say these things to you. But if other boys say these things to you in the future, you should be wary. Why? Because it's dangerous. Will there be death? Naruto hesitated for a moment and considered the wording. The first time, it probably hurts to death, right? Kakamito didn't understand, only knew that Naruto said he would die. She hurriedly said, that. After that, if someone tells me to do something bad to me, I will stay away from him. Haha, that's good. Xiangfo's face turned a little redder again. In order to reduce Keiko's curiosity about certain things, Naruto began to change the subject. It wasn't until 12 o'clock in the evening that Naruto felt a little sleepy, but Xiangfo's mother has not yet returned. This made Naruto feel strange. When does your mother usually come back? Xiangfo's frowned slightly, seemingly worried. If it were usual, my mother would have returned an hour ago. Naruto's expression became serious. He knew that Uzumaki Chuenjo had a special physique, and the injured would be healed as long as they bit her. At present, Uzumaki Chuenjo should be in the hospital. Perhaps there are too many injured in the hospital, so Uzumaki Chuenjo has been difficult to go home so far. According to the original book, Uzumaki Chuenjo was bitten to death alive. Next, the phosphorus is taken away as a substitute. Thinking of this, Naruto glanced at Kokoro. Want to see your mother? I want to. I don't know when she will come back, whether she will. Something happened? Fragrant Phosphorus is really worried. In this world, her mother is her all-dependency. If she died, she would be the only one left in the world, and she didn't dare to imagine what life would be like that. Naruto snorted and immediately got up, then go see her. When Xiangfo's heard this, the whole person was shocked. Going to see my mother? Didn't you say you wanted to see her? I wanted to see my mother, but the people in the hospital wouldn't let me see her, and I tried to find my mother and was kicked out. Naruto directly took Kakashi's hand. At the beginning, you went to find someone alone, but now I accompany you. What are you afraid of? In fact, Fragrant Phosphorus is still afraid, but being held by Naruto like this, she really didn't seem to be afraid. She stared straight at Naruto, who was already ahead of her. Kakashi's body was weak, but he didn't want to hold back, so he had to follow Naruto closely. Brother Naruto, do you know where the hospital is? Episode 77. Kakato remembered Naruto saying that he was not from Kusanagi village. I know, brother Naruto, you. Doesn't it mean that you are not from Kusanagi village? How do you know where the hospital is? Because your Naruto brother is smart. It was just a joke, but Kasuto said seriously, brother Naruto is indeed very smart. The two did not continue to talk and rushed directly to the hospital. In the past, Xiangfo's would be recognized as soon as he arrived at the hospital and then chased away. But this time, Naruto took Xiangfo's, crossed the crowd, and directly broke into the hospital. The place where Uzumaki Izumi is needed must be a disease that the medical ninja here cannot solve. I haven't gone back for so long, and the number will definitely not be less. Naruto had a judgment in his heart. He only needed to go to the place where the wounded were the most and the wailing was the most. Kakari grabbed Naruto's hand tightly and walked behind him. She had an inexplicable fear of the hospital. It's just that now Naruto has him with him, so she can feel more at ease. The hospital is large, and there are normal patients in other wards, but the number is very small. Xiangfo's looked around. This was the hospital she was familiar with white floors, white walls, and everything else was white. Long corridor. I don't know how long it will take to finish. Although the lights are on in the hospital late at night, the long corridor makes people feel a little strange, and there is a pungent smell of disinfectant water. Xiangfo's whispered, strange, there are usually many nurses and doctors on duty here, but this time, there was almost no one. Even at the front desk, I didn't see a single person. It's no wonder that Naruto can easily hide from the eyes of others with Keiko. Naruto looked around. It seems that there are a lot of wounded today. All the nurses and doctors have gone to support. It was at this moment that Naruto saw that the lights in a ward at the end of the corridor were on. Although the voice was small, Naruto's 5 senses were sensitive, and his hearing was naturally sensitive, and he could clearly hear the wail. Naruto quickened his pace, and the incense behind him trotted even more. Otherwise, he would not be able to keep up with Naruto at all. The two walked directly to the end of the corridor and stood in the doorway. Xiangfo's was frightened by the scene in front of him. This is a very special ward. The area of the ward is about 200 square meters, which is very deep, and it feels like you can't see your head at a glance. There was only half an arm between the beds, and on each bed there were wounded lying on them. Some people are missing an arm, some are missing a pair of legs, some people have blinded eyes, and some people have fatal wounds on their heads, but they are not dead. In addition, there were many wounded lying under the hospital bed. Everyone looked miserable. It hurts me. I don't want to die. I don't. Hurry up. Come quickly. Come to my side. Are you trying to make me die of pain? Yes. The wounded who could still make a sound hissed, and the wounded who could not make a sound looked at each other. They were all waiting for the woman's arrival. Just bite her. No matter how badly injured the body is, it will be fine. This person is Uzumaki Chuenjo, mother of Fragrant Phosphorus. At this point, it's ahead. Xiangfo's mother, Uzumaki Chuenjo, was dressed in rags, her sleeves had been pulled up to her shoulders, and both arms were exposed to air. I saw her half kneeling on the ground, and her neck and arms were bitten by someone. There were 6 people in total, and they bit Uzumaki Chuenjio at the same time. Uzumaki Chuenjio, who had been overloaded with work for a long time, turned pale, as if he would die in the next second. It's just that a ninja next to him is guarding Uzumaki Izumi's side, and he is trying to stop Uzumaki Izumi from escaping. After all, there are so many wounded here, if she runs, it will make them very embarrassed. When Xiangfo saw this scene, he had already burst into tears. She knew her mother's work was hard, but she didn't know that her mother's work was so hard. She had only heard of it before, but had never seen it. Because her mother would not give her any description, let alone let herself see her at work, and no one else allowed her to see her mother in the hospital. Such a heart-wrenching picture, she would rather not see it. But now, it is like a mark engraved in the soul. Perhaps she will never forget it in her life. Naruto, who was standing beside Keiko, had a very dark expression. In his previous life, he understood the plot and only thought that what happened to Xiangfo's was too pathetic. It's just that everything is in the paper picture, the characters and scenes in it, everything is fake. Only now, those pictures are really presented in front of Naruto's eyes. These people wailed in pain, bloody bodies, and Uzumaki Izumi, who was bitten by many ninjas. These are living people. Everything is true. At this moment, Naruto didn't know what kind of mood he was. I just think that since he is here, he is also a blood descendant of the Vortex clan, and he will not let people bully the mother and daughter of Xiangfo's. He gently patted Xiangfo's shoulder. You stand aside, find a corner to hide, don't make a sound. She's just a little girl, and no one pays attention to her, especially when he is ready to make a big fuss later. These people are too late to care about themselves. Who cares that there will be one more little girl in this ward, even if she is the daughter of Uzumaki Izumi? Kokoto didn't know what Naruto was going to do, but she looked at Naruto's serious look. She believed that Naruto's brother would definitely save her mother. Xiangfo's, who was already so frightened that his legs couldn't move, forced himself to cheer up, and finally found a corner place to hide. She was really scared. She was afraid that her mother would die like that, but she did not dare to rush up, because she was afraid that she would also die. Xiangfo's, you can't be so cowardly, you can't be so cowardly, she kept reminding herself. At this time, Naruto rushed directly up, extremely fast. Brush brush brush, the wind-like sound came, and everything seemed to be still in an instant. Followed by, there was a low groan, accompanied by the sound of falling to the ground, and Xiangfo's, who was hiding in the corner, couldn't help but widen his eyes, because the few people who originally bit their mother have all fallen to the ground at this moment. The distance is not too far, and the fragrant phosphorus can really see it. Those people had blood stains on their necks, and blood gradually oozed from the ground. Naruto directly cut the throats of these people. The man who saved himself, ate at his own house, and accompanied him to watch the stars, killed all of them. Xiangfo's gritted his teeth and brought his trembling wrist to his mouth. In the next second, he bit his arm. P.S. There are 5 more on the evening _ Episode 78. Xiangfo's is very afraid, really afraid, but she knew, I can't be so cowardly all the time. Especially at this time, Naruto showed such strength. He was clearly the same age as himself, but he could easily knock these people down. If she can also become stronger, then she can protect her mother. Instead of hiding in a corner like a nest of waste, as it is now, her white and tender arm was bitten by her with a very deep tooth mark. Tell yourself with pain that you must not be cowardly. For a moment, Naruto reached out and lifted Uzumaki Izumi, who was half kneeling on the ground, up. Uzumaki Izumi was a little shaky, but he still stood up straight with Naruto's strength, but his legs were still a little unstable. Naruto was no more than 12 years old, a little lower than Uzumaki Izumi's height. He almost used his body to prop up the whirlpool spring Jyo. Uzumaki Chuenjio was so weak that he couldn't even say a word. Seeing this, the Kusanagi village ninja quickly surrounded him. One by one, they stared at Naruto, with complete vigilance, ready to fight back. It's just that Naruto's speed just now was too fast. Another glance at the several Kusanagi ninjas beside Naruto. They were all cut their throats quickly. Naruto looks young, but he is by no means ordinary. Taking the lead was a huge man, more than 2 heads taller than Naruto. The other party seems calm, but he is very jealous in his heart. What are you? Why break into the hospital and kill so many of our ninjas? Naruto supported Uzumaki Izumi with his body. He moved too fast just now. His kimono was slightly messy, and his hair was slightly upturned. However, he looked relaxed and looked up at the ninja of Kusanagi village in front of him. He glanced indifferently at the other ninjas who carefully surrounded him. He sneered, stood his steps a little steadier. The corners of his lips were slightly hooked, and his eyebrows carried a bit of presumptuous taste. You should not be blind. I came to save her. As for these people who killed, I just helped them get rid of them early. They all broke their arms and legs. What are they still doing alive? Listening to Naruto's wild words, the faces of the group around were moved. It was too arrogant. And this teenager in front of him actually planned to take away the tools of their Kusanagi village? How can it be, boy? I advise you not to mess around. This is Kusanagi village. Do you think that you alone can take people away? Naruto looked confident. Just a few of you can't stop me. You might be able to take the woman next to you, what about her? At this time, the fragrant phosphorus that was originally hiding in the corner was buckled by the neck. Xiangfo's small hand tightly gripped the other party's wrist, never able to make a sound, and could not break free. With tears in the corners of her eyes, she was so uncomfortable that she was dying. The weak whirlpool Chuenjo stretched out his hand and shouted, "Fragrant phosphorus." She was so weak just now that she didn't see herself. It doesn't matter if she dies herself, but she can. Uzumaki Chuenjo was just about to speak, but at this time, he only felt a sudden tightening in his waist. Brush. In the next second, Naruto and Uzumaki Izumi, who were originally standing there, disappeared. Naruto had already placed the Flying Thunder God technique mark on Kakashi. In the blink of an eye, I saw Naruto and Uzumaki Izumi appear behind Kakashi. The man who held Xiangfo's neck only felt a chill behind his back, and the strength on his hand increased a little. Just between breaths, he felt as if his neck was cut by something. His eyes widened, and the hand that held Xiangfo's lost his strength for a moment, and a line of blood appeared in his throat. Bang! With a loud bang, the other party fell directly to the ground. Quietly, there was not even a chance to resist. Fragrant phosphorus has long been frightened, but seeing Naruto and her mother, she subconsciously rushed into her mother's arms. Although Uzumaki Chuenjo has not yet figured out the situation, as a mother, she immediately protected her daughter in her arms. Xiangfo's, why are you here? It was Naruto's brother who brought me here. Xiangfo still cried when he spoke. She was really terrified. She had seen this scene for the first time. So many dead people, and she almost died just now. Fortunately, Naruto saved her. Second, brother Naruto saved her a second time. Seeing that another ninja died, the leading ninja was angry, and he didn't care who Naruto was, let alone how brutal Naruto's strength was. He must be left behind. With a wave of his big hand, he drank low and ordered, "Arrest them all for me. The blonde kid is killed. Those two women, stay alive." Almost instantly, all the ninjas gathered around. At the same time, many ninjas gathered behind Naruto. At the same time as talking to Naruto, someone had already gone to report. Now all the ninjas near the hospital have come. No matter what, be sure to catch Naruto. Naruto frowned slightly. Although he can finish off all these people, however, it takes a lot of time, and now with two women without the power of chickens, it's troublesome. Next time I will play with you, we will go first, Naruto said, putting his arm around one. Brush. Almost instantly, Naruto and the other three disappeared. No. It's gone? Everyone was shocked. It's so fast. Someone even wanted to catch Naruto just now, but in the end, it still failed. Even if the ninja who was outflanked from behind didn't have time to get close, Naruto disappeared, along with Uzumaki Izumi and Kakashi. After a moment of surprise, the leading ninja saw him wave his big hand. Don't let your guard down, everyone. I'll go find Mayada-sama now. If you see that blonde kid again, you must catch the other party no matter what. Yes. A brush. The lead ninja disappeared into Noda's ward. The other ninjas were all under martial law and began to clean up the pieces. Meanwhile, Naruto appeared on the outskirts of Kusanagi village with his mother and daughter. This is where Naruto had marked it before entering Kusanagi village. He is well aware of the importance of Uzumaki Izumi and Kazumi to Kusanagi village. Kusanagi didn't care about the life or death of Xiangfo's mother and daughter. For them, Xiangfo's mother and daughter were just a tool. Any tool has a useful life, even if it is about to break. It will never think of repairing, but discard it at will. Even so, those people in Kusanagi village would not let anyone take Xiangfo's mother and daughter away. So he marked it early, so that he could take the mother and daughter out of Kusanagi village. As soon as it landed, the whirlpool spring Joe's feet were soft. Naruto immediately grabbed Uzumaki Izumi, causing her not to fall directly to the ground. Episode 79. However, Uzumaki Chuenjo couldn't hold on. Mother. Xiangfo's cried out worriedly, and the tears on his face had not yet dried. Seeing her mother so weak, Xiangfo's remembered what happened to her when she was in the hospital. In an instant, the tears flowed even more fiercely. She tightly grasped Uzumaki Chuenjo's hand and said while sobbing, "Mother, I'm sorry, blame me for being too young to protect you properly. If I knew that your job was like that, I would definitely not let you go, even if I let you go instead." Uzumaki Chuenjo, who had no strength, listened to his daughter's crying. Weak, she smiled, raised her hand with difficulty, and stroked her daughter's cheek. "I'm sorry Xiangfo's, I shouldn't have let you see that scene, it's my bad and can't give you a better life." If she was strong enough, she wouldn't have put her daughter in this environment. It's not. My mother didn't feel sorry for me, I was too weak, I should protect my mother well. Uzumaki Chuenjo wanted to say something, but she really had no strength. Even with Naruto's support, he finally leaned forward. Seeing that he was about to fall to the ground, Xiangfo's was standing right in front of Uzumaki Chuenjo. She tried to support her mother, but her small body couldn't do it. Uzumaki Chuenjo finally pressed directly on Xiangfo's body, and the two fell to the ground together. Xiangfo shouted anxiously, "Mother! Mother, what's wrong with you? Naruto reached out and grabbed Uzumaki Izumi's arm, turning Uzumaki Izumi over and leaving her lying flat on the ground. Xiangfo stumbled up and asked on the side, Brother Naruto, how is my mother? Is she hurt badly? I saw Naruto's hands condensing chakra, and a faint green-blue light wrapped around his hands, and then he put his hands above Uzumaki Izumi's chest. Palm cactus can quickly recover internal and external injuries through the released chakra. The chakra of the Vortex clan is much stronger than ordinary people, but the long-term excessive consumption of Vortex Chuanjiu has caused her body to be very weak. While treating Uzumaki Chuanjiu, he comforted Xiangfo's, with me, it will be fine. Fortunately, he met Tsunade before meeting Kokoto mother and daughter, otherwise, even if he could turn into a tail, he would not be able to save a person. So learning medical ninjutsu is the right choice. Kakato believed what Naruto said, but she was still praying secretly. I just hope that my mother will be fine. After a period of treatment, Uzumaki Chuenjo's complexion was much better. The bite marks on his neck and arms are also gradually disappearing, and his weak breathing is gradually becoming smoother. Only at this time, see the true face of Whirlpool Spring Gyo. I have to say that Whirlpool Spring Gyo is extremely beautiful. Even if it is overconsumed for a long time, there is no trace of aging, and the skin is still tender and smooth. After all, it is a mother and daughter, and Xiangfo's is very similar to Chuenjo. In addition, both of them have red hair, just one is more mature, and the other is just a little girl who has not yet grown up. For a moment, Uzumaki Chuenjo frowned slightly, her fingers moved first, and then she opened her eyes. Her vision was not too clear, she only felt that her eyes were blurry. After adapting, this is when you see everything in front of you. The first person he saw was Naruto, who was treating himself. Naruto withdrew his hand, and without waiting for Uzumaki Izumi to ask Naruto's identity, Kakato on the side hugged her. Mother! Good thing you woke up. Good thing you're okay. Xiangfo's was so happy that she began to cry again. It's just a little girl, and if it's on Blue Star, the 12-year-old girl is still in school. This kind of life and death problem does not need to be faced at all. But this is the world of Hokage. Everyone's life is not easy. Feeling her daughter's body temperature, the breeze gently walked past the two. Holding his daughter Xiangfo's, Quanjiu only felt that his heart was filled. She comforted her daughter with a gentle smile on her face. It's okay, I'll always be by Xiangfo's side, of course it'll be fine. Well, mother must always stay with Xiangfo's. In the future, I will make myself stronger and stronger, I will protect my mother well, and I will not let those bad people bully my mother anymore. Quanjiu only felt very relieved. Gently stroking Xiangfo's cheek, she had a lot to say to her daughter, but she felt that she didn't need to say anything. As long as she is alive and her daughter is alive, no matter how difficult life is, she can endure it. Gently pursing her lips, she smiled. It will be fine, everything will be fine. When the war in Kusanagi village is over, I won't have to work. She so naively thought that sooner or later, the war would end. That was why she had endured that no matter how those people in Kusanagi village treated her, she stayed. She always thought that she was so tired now only because she was in the middle of a war. When the war is over, she will be able to live like an ordinary person. Naruto glanced at Uzumaki Izumi and directly punctured her naive thoughts. The war in Kusanagi village will not end. Their only existential value is to constantly start wars, and if you continue to endure, you will only die in Kusanagi village, and finally leave Xiangfo's to live alone in this world. This statement seemed very ruthless, even cold. If people can survive, they are constantly looking for hope for themselves. But that hope is like a prayer, and a very fine needle can pierce it. With a bang, hope is shattered, and living becomes an extremely difficult thing. Uzumaki Izumi dropped his gaze on Naruto. Her hopes were shattered, but she remembered that she had been saved by the teenager. He had blonde hair, aqua blue eyes, and a young face with eyes that did not match his age. After looking at it for a long time, Uzumaki Chuenjo asked cautiously, "Are you Naruto Uzumaki?" Naruto replied. This answer made Uzumaki Chuenjo stunned, his red eyes widened slightly, and his face showed surprise. Your name is Naruto Uzumaki?" After that, she looked at Naruto carefully again. Characteristics of the Uzumaki family: red hair, red eyes. But the boy in front of him had blonde hair and blue eyes. No matter how he looked at it, he didn't look like a member of the Vortex clan. You don't need to doubt my identity. My mother is from the Uzumaki clan, and my father is not. My hair color and eyes are inherited from my father's characteristics. Episode 80. Uzumaki Chuenjo realized that she seemed a little unreasonable just now, and she immediately apologized. I'm sorry, I don't mean to suspect you, I just think it's strange, and I didn't expect to meet other clansmen. After all, after the Vortex family was destroyed, there are not many Whirlpool clans who have really survived, and it is very rare to encounter them. Naruto didn't care much, but looked around. It's not safe here. The people of Kusanagi village must be looking for you, and now you still have the strength? Uzumaki Chuenjo quickly got up from the ground. Yes. Okay, then come with me. I'll take you to a safe place. Naruto wasn't going to explain anything either. However, Uzumaki Izumi didn't understand the situation. She followed behind Naruto, pulling Kazu with one hand, and asked, "That Naruto-kun, although I don't know what happened, I do know that you saved me, and my daughter, But isn't it good that you want to take us out of Kusanagi village now? Hearing this, Naruto suddenly froze. The small figure stood in front of him, and Uzumaki Chuenjo was actually startled. She immediately stood still, not daring to speak. Naruto tilted his head slightly to look at Uzumaki Izumi. How? Do you still want to go back to that kind of place? Or do you want to die directly in Kusanagi village, leaving Xiangfos alone? Uzumaki Chuenjo's heart jumped suddenly. Of course she didn't want to. Where was she willing to leave her daughter alone? It's just that this is her only chance to survive. Leaving Kusanagi village, there was simply no place to accommodate himself and his daughter. Seeing that her mother did not speak, Xiangfos pulled her hand, and said in a milky voice, "Mother, believe brother Naruto, he said to take us to a safe place. It must be a particularly safe place. Let's not go back to that place, okay? You don't do that kind of work either." Uzumaki Chuenjo looked at his daughter and looked very embarrassed. Naruto turned around and removed the package he was tied to and handed it to Uzumaki Izumi. Uzumaki Chuenjo came back to her senses, but did not reach out to take it, because she didn't know what this thing was. Naruto directly stuffed the package to Uzumaki Izumijiu and explained indifferently, "This is a middle-aged uncle asked me to hand it over to you, saying that it is a retribution." Uzumaki Chuenjo felt strange. She opened the package, and it turned out to be a large pile of money inside. Uzumaki Izumi was very surprised. She looked at Naruto. "This? So much money? What is the name of that person? Why should you ask me to repay your favor? Before you can ask, he died, maybe someone you once saved." Uzumaki Chuenjo never remembered who he had saved. If she had to say anything, she had saved countless people. But those people will only think that they take it for granted, and will never be grateful to themselves, let alone take money to be grateful. If it is saved alone, then there is definitely no such thing. She has no freedom to belong to herself, let alone her own time. How can she have the opportunity to save people? Seeing Uzumaki Chuenjo fall into endless memories, Naruto didn't care about that. He didn't have time to help Uzumaki Izumi remember what he had. He said directly, "I don't like to force people. If you don't want to go to a safer place, I can send you back now. But from now on, no one will come to rescue you." Although Naruto took the initiative to save people, he was definitely not the kind of bitter persuasion to leave the land of right and wrong. Only if they volunteered, Naruto would take the two away. Uzumaki Izumi listened to Naruto's words, and his heart clicked. The teenager in front of him is a good man. He really wants to save himself. Otherwise, how could he possibly return so much money to himself? And it can be seen that his daughter trusts him very much. So she also chose to believe Naruto. However, she was still a little hesitant. She gently pursed her lips and lowered her head, and the hand holding Xiangfos tightened a little. Xiangfos could see her mother's unease, but she didn't know why her mother was so upset. After a long time, Uzumaki Chuenjo carefully spoke. "Of course I know that Kusanagi village is not a place for our mother and daughter to live well, and it is best to leave there, just. Those people in Kusanagi village will not give up. They are at war all year round, there are a lot of wounded every day, they need me to treat those ninjas, they won't let me go. If I insist on taking my daughter with you, it will also hurt you in the end. I know you are very powerful, but you are just a child. How can you trouble children in adult matters? So, I'm really sorry, I will still take Xiangfos back to Kusanagi village. When the time comes, I will tell them that I left by myself. It has nothing to do with you, and you just need to stay away from Kusanagi village. As long as I go back, I believe they won't trouble you." Uzumaki Chuenjo is a very gentle and kind person. Naruto is about the same age as his daughter and is his own lifesaver. Even though she knew that Kusanagi village was a place of deep water, she definitely couldn't drag Naruto down. Naruto glanced at Uzumaki Izumi, and he spoke. "If that's the reason, you don't have to care. I didn't save you for nothing." Xiangfos and Quanjiu were stunned almost at the same time. "Didn't you save them for nothing? What does that mean?" "The reason why I agreed to that uncle is because the person he needs to repay is surnamed Uzumaki, and I just want to see the remaining clansmen of the Uzumaki clan. Moreover, I have already thought about it. I will rebuild the Vortex clan in the future. I naturally can't do it alone. You two are from the Vortex clan, so I need you." One needed, one rebuilt. Let Uzumaki Chuenjo, who had already lost his hometown, red eyes. Every time he was bullied, Uzumaki Chuenjo wished he could go back to the past. The people of the Uzumaki clan live together and live happy days every day. If the Uzumaki clan is not destroyed, if the village of the Uzumaki clan is still there, then he and his daughter can live a better life. She only felt as if every cell in her body had survived. The hope of life that was originally extinguished, in this moment, rekindled. Xiangfos is still young and does not understand, but she thinks it is very powerful. She looked at Naruto with adoration, only to feel that Naruto's whole body was glowing. Meanwhile, she also felt her mother's hands trembling. She looked at her mother strangely, and Uzumaki Izumi looked at Naruto with a longing face. "You. Is it really possible to rebuild the Vortex family?" "Of course, I do what I say. _______________________